guys? I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I'm glad you're all here. I want to take a quick second and say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you all, and thank any of you who come in to watch the knife and EDC content. I appreciate you. If you like it and you're so inclined, if you'll hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, it really helps out. But today, I have got a very exciting specimen that I have been lucky enough to, it was passed around, and I did want to look at this one because I'm a big fan of this brand. And guys, this early in the year, and I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but there are a lot of cases for why this may be my favorite knife of the year. I've been carrying it now for right around a week. Using it like I use knives, right? Which is not hard use. It's EDC work, EDC knives. This is what I carry to work. This is what I carry on the weekends. This is what I carry. I've just been carrying it constantly, right? As you guys know, I also carry a fixed blade with me. I carry a slip joint usually, but I'm usually going to be using my primary folder or my fixed blade. And when I'm checking out knives, I usually make those the primary folder. So this knife is the Mr. Design Works, or excuse me, Mr. Designs. It is their Phantom. It's called the Phantom. It's available in two different configurations. You can get it in this titanium and satin, belt satin, or you can get it in black, which looks like this color and the satin blade. So you've got two different colorways. One of the more impressive things about this knife, but it's got great detent. It's a more medium-sized knife. I'm gonna call it small medium. For me, I've got a 3.5-inch hand, kind of a medium large size hand, and it fits me perfectly. You guys that know my hand with other knives, I'll put a couple in it real quick. This is just to show you, I got interested or introduced to the Mr. brand late 2023 when I bought the Cipher from Mr. Designs. A full-size knife you guys have seen on the channel. Came with carbon fiber scales. I put the skiffs in it and then put these titanium scales that I purchased from Mr. Super thin, but a full-size knife. Compared to the Phantom, you can see it's a good bit larger. And then I was so impressed with that knife, I went out on a total limb and picked up another of Mr. Designs, the Zero, which is what I consider one of the quintessential gentleman folders. It's a button lock, M390 blade, super thin blade stock, no exposed blade, just a little rectangle. But again, a larger knife as I drop it on that knife. So a larger knife, not quite as large as the Cipher, but still the Phantom's coming in as the smallest of those knives. But what I love about it is, like the other Mr. Designs, it has got a very, very ergonomical handle for me. Very comfortable, understated to where you have just clean lines, no jimping. You've got the wire clip. I'm a huge fan of it because I don't feel it in my hand. You can easily replace it with a lynch clip. It is reversible, so it's right or left-handed, even though it's a liner lock. You guys know one of my pet peeves, one of the things I hate more than anything are top flippers. I'm not a fan. So this knife has thumb studs, which I love. You can reverse finger flick, you can regular flick. Let's see if I can get my finger in there. You can reverse finger flick, you can thumb flick. But I had found this front flipper, this particular front flipper, to be exceptional. So the only jimping on the knife is on this front flipper, which is this little tab that goes up, turns around right there because it also locks in. And all you literally have to do is give it a twitch. It absolutely locks into place like nobody's business. I can do all the cheesy front flip tricks. Whoops. I say that as I jab it in the base of my hand. But anyway, yeah, it is very, very good front flipper. Front flips very, very well. So the blade is 20 CV, which I like. 20 CV steel. It's sturdy. It's smutsy. Hold on. So you've got this 20 CV hollow ground blade, super, super thin. I'm talking a splinter digger. This tip is as pokey as my gripper, so it's as pokey as any tip you could want. Let's do this. Let me get some paper. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Let me get some paper. So this knife hits that therapeutically slicey category to me, which means it just makes the paper separate. You don't feel any slowdowns in the pull. The bite is next level, and the point, from a utility standpoint, you couldn't want any better. You really couldn't. I mean, it is that pokey, that stabby. Don't want to cut up my mat, but it is just an absolute cutter. So from a carry profile, it works very, very well. From a slicing profile, it works very, very well. So we'll see how it goes in and out of pocket. OEM is QSP. It goes in and out of pocket amazingly easy. QSP is the OEM, so I was kind of surprised, not in a bad way. QSP does great work. The Cipher and the Zero, if I'm not mistaken, were OEM by Best Tech. This being OEM by QSP is by no means a downgrade, in my opinion, considering knife to knife, looking at the knives. I'll just tell you that out of the Mr. Designs, the Zero and the Cipher D, which I like very, very much, the Cipher, not Cipher D, the Cipher D is the drop point, and the Zero, I believe this is my favorite. This little knife is, and let's do some real size comparisons. That was me failing it. Let's look at it next to the Benchmade Bug Out. Let's get the Benchmade Mini Bug Out. I think it's going to split those two. Let's get the back to back here. So that is your Bug Out, the Phantom Mini Bug Out. And then what you'll notice is these knives are all very, very thin. So from an EDC standpoint, this one has a little bit of contoured handles. Very comfortable in the hand, great access to the lock bar. I love the opening mechanisms being your thumb studs or your top flipper. I love the fact that it goes in and out of pocket kind of invisibly. You don't feel it. It is so light, kind of minimalistic. It is a minimalistic knife. And I love it, guys. If you look at everything I like about a knife, a nice Wharncliffe blade, a deep hollow grind, quality materials, 20 CV, titanium, liner lock, works fantastic. This knife is at Mr. Mister's website. I have no affiliation with Mr. Mister Designs, except that I appreciate and love their stuff. T8 hardware all the way around. $205, I think, for these. Either color configuration, and they are available. I will leave just a direct link. I don't have a code or anything like that, but I do have the link to Mr. Mister's website. I will be getting one. This is a knife that I'm definitely going to be bringing into the collection. I am probably going to bring a black and silver in because the other two Mr. Misters I have are black with satin. So that's kind of the jam I'm going for. I like the titanium and satin. And one thing about Mr. Mister, I don't know if they'll do it here, but they offer scales you could either buy this knife in titanium or you could buy the scales. I'm imagining that if you wanted to change it up, that these scales will also be available. I want to say these scales, when I bought them, they were $70 a set, which I thought was very fair for titanium scales. Guys, 20 CV, titanium, QSP OEM, so you've got a deep, beautiful hollow grind that, as you guys saw, cuts fantastically. I'm getting ahead of myself, but my channel talks about how knives make me feel. You know, the whole knife, like, dislike. There's definitely some things that can be objectively measured. You know, things like how knives open, how they close, this, that, and the other. But the way knives make you feel is kind of subjective. And right now, I'm not, and I've got a Burgess Blade Mini. I love my Burgess Blade Mini. This is 7 inches overall. It's got right about a 3 1/8 inch blade, 4 inch handle, 2 3/4 inch cutting area. Got a great sharpening choil, which I can also use as a finger choil. It's not designed for that. One thing I wish is that the screw here, the hardware, was a little bit more recessed. And I know you have to leave them mushroomed out to capture the wire. So that's a no problem. But I don't know if there could have been a screw that could be switched out to where this one would stay kind of flush. If you had the clip on this side, if you had the clip on this side, maybe the screw on this side could be flush. I don't know if that's even possible. I have to find something that I find objectionable, so to speak. The only other mini pet peeve that I would say is I love the color on the thumb studs. And you'll notice that the little standoffs are also that anodized blue-green. I'm blue-green colorblind, guys, so I can't exactly tell you what colors those are. But I would like to see that color maybe carried, if you're going to use color, if you're not going to keep it just neutral out, maybe you have some touches of color somewhere else. I don't know where else that would be. Maybe your hardware, since you're going to have, I don't know. It just seems to me, I kind of almost wish it was more stonewash maybe stainless for the studs so that you're not standing out, or maybe black. You know, that could maybe be a possibility where the black version had this tumbled looking hardware and this one maybe had black hardware. I'm just looking for things that I might think could improve this knife, because guys, I'll tell you, there's not much that I've enjoyed more, and I'm going to be sending this knife in a day or two, probably tomorrow, to Kevin, Lefty EDC, to check out, because again, these are available now. I'm going to see what he thinks about it. I'm curious, because he's got a much bigger hand than me, so keep an eye out on his channel. But what I can tell you is it's a mad-ass win. I think that Mr. Designs killed it on this design, the Phantom. I'm definitely sold on it. I love it. And as of right now, I'm not going to say it's not going to be my #1 knife of the year. So we'll see what else comes out. We'll see what happens. Guys, go out and check this out. Don't do anything because I say to do it, because again, these are my personal opinions of how the knives make me feel. I play with a lot of knives. If you like smaller knives that have a Wharncliffe style that operate very, very well, this doesn't have any skiffs in it yet. It's just as it comes from Mr. And it had been around the block before it got to me, but I love it. So guys, thank you for taking the time. All I ask is please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. And always choose to bait, not hate. I love you all. Peace. What? You know what we didn't do? That was a premature piece. I didn't give you all the weight. I can't go away here. So those of you that stick around to the end of the videos are rewarded today with the weight. 3.4 ounces. So we had a 3 1/8 inch blade, 2 3/4 inch cutting area, 3.4 inch, and a titanium premium knife. I don't have a problem with that. Just about perfect. So guys, that is the Phantom. Now it's time for me to say I love each and every one of you. Peace.